Hey guys, welcome back. Welcome to the FSX404 channel. Today I'm going to do something a little bit different. I'm going to talk you through one of my IFR flights. Actually, it's going to be an IFR departure from Torrance. In this case, I was flying from Torrance to Carlsbad. And what I'm going to show you is just the departure part. So what's going to happen is after takeoff, I'm going to fly a heading of 290. Once I reach the coast, the ATC is going to start vectoring me to a heading of 200. And then only a few seconds later, the ATC vectors me to a heading of 170. Once I get just south of the peninsula, the ATC vectors me again to a heading of 100 to join the Victor 23, at which point I resume my navigations to Carlsbad. Victor 23 runs from Seal Beach VOR down to Oceanside VOR on a heading of 120. So I'll just talk you through it, what's going on in the plane, what the ATC is telling me to do, and what I'm doing. This is a Cessna 206. It is a / uniform, so it does not have a GPS in it. It has basic VORs. But we all get spoiled because most of the pilots have iPads now, and the iPads have a GPS in it, and it helps out a lot. However, during this flight, during the departure, actually, I lost GPS contact, at which point I just had to go back and fly with VORs. Now let's move into the second part of this video, which is the flight part of this video, and let me talk you through.
So we're going to full power. We take off on full power in the 206, but the airplane is very loud because we're turning about 2,800 RPMs at this point. It's very, very loud. You can't hear it here. As a matter of fact, as soon as I get to the end of the runway, you're going to hear me reduce the RPMs, and that's because of the noise abatement procedures. They got sensors all around down there in front, and they will go off if you leave it at full power. I reduced the RPMs. We're still at full power to about 1,000 feet. The ATC just gave me a frequency change, so I'm actually going to SoCal at this point, and checking in with SoCal, letting SoCal know that I'm on their frequency now. Okay, so we're still climbing. Right now we're in a cruise climb. You can kind of see the airspeed is about 100 knots. The manifold pressure is at 23, so we're not at full power anymore. We're sort of in a cruise climb. Okay, so the ATC just told me to turn heading 200, and you can see I'm immediately putting the heading bug on a 200. Like I said, I always fly with these heading bugs because it's a lot easier. Down there, that's the Torrance coast going to Palos Verdes. Now the ATC just told me turn heading 170. So again, turn, heading bug, and I'm still climbing. You can see I'm still at 100 knots, climbing at about 500 to 600 feet per minute. Just double checking. There's my iPad. You can kind of see it. So you can see heading 170. You can see about 500, 600 feet per minute, and the airspeed of 100 knots. So that is the cruise climb. Okay, so now we are kind of getting to the edge of the peninsula. The ATC just gave me a frequency change, so putting in a new frequency. And you can see me, just wait a second, push the button, and I'm going to check in. The reason we wait a second is because in case the ATC gave somebody else instructions, you want to make sure that the line is clear. You don't want to cut somebody off. So now I just checked in with the ATC. You can see I'm still on the cruise climb. They just gave me the new altimeter setting, and they told me to turn to a heading of 100. So as soon as you check in, the ATC is going to tell you this is the altimeter setting. That way everybody's on the same altimeter setting, and in this case, he also gave me a new heading to fly. At this point, I just lost my GPS. I'm kind of looking down. Okay, never mind. So immediately go to the VORs. Let's not worry about the GPS at this point. We are in vectors. The ATC is guiding me to Victor 23. And I'm just taking out the chart, double checking headings on the Victor 23, which is 120 from the Seal Beach VOR. Pretty much throughout the flight, I'm already set up. We never stay idle in the plane. We're always set up for the next step. So even when my GPS failed, I was already ahead of the plane. I was already anticipating where I have to be next, and everything was set up for me. That way I didn't have to scramble inside the cockpit. Oh my God, where am I going? That's a nice view of the San Pedro area down there. It's actually beautiful. It's a training area. It's kind of dangerous to fly around here at certain altitudes because there's a lot of flight training going, but at this time I'm above it. I'm at 5,800 feet, so I'm above that training. Nice little San Pedro, Long Beach area. And at this point, I'm actually getting pretty close to the Victor 23. In the VOR2, the one below, I have it actually set up to Oceanside, and on the one above, I actually have Seal Beach. Because I'm so much further away from Oceanside VOR, it's a lot less accurate. I didn't have GPS, but I still had a chart on my iPad. But you can now see that both of the VORs are centered, and I'm on a Victor 23. At this point, I'm also leveled off at 6,000 feet. The manifold pressure is about 20, and my RPMs are down to 2,400. And I'm cruising about 120 knots indicated, and that was about 147 knots that day because I had some tailwinds. The Cessna 206 actually cruises at about 130, 135 knots depending on the power settings. So anyway guys, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys later.